Alright people, I guess it's one of those videos where you should probably have some sort of snack by your side, you know, maybe grab yourself some popcorn or something, because it's that type of video that if you're not already hyped for this game or you are already hyped, it is going to times that by at least 100, okay? That is my guarantee. So today we have a bunch of cool information on things that have pretty much been going on for the last week or so. Now, if you have been following the videos and just general community stuff, you will know that the amount of teasers we have got have just been absolutely insane, alright? But I want you guys to get in the comment section below and let me know what you feel about these teasers, and do you really feel that Insomniac Games are making a good move, aka like a smart move with the teasers, or do you really think they should just go ahead and kind of just drop it one time? Get in the comment section below. Also, another thing I wanted to ask was about E3 2018, alright? That is going to approach a whole lot quicker than we feel, and of course it's one of the biggest gaming events in the entire freaking world. That said, do you guys feel they would take advantage to go ahead and just flat out drop the release date here? So get in the comment section below and let me know on that stuff. But diving into the information we do have comes from the man himself, Brian again. So one of the developers over at Insomniac Games did post a tweet on February the 18th saying, taking a break from this weekend's marathon for Spider-Man PlayStation 4 playthrough session for another trip to Wakanda, hashtag Black Panther. So this is the thing, right? First of all, this whole Black Panther thing has just been huge, okay? These guys are bound to be posting about it, and it's just absolutely doing records, and it looks incredible, and it is incredible, okay? Now, the thing is, the key thing, taking a break from this weekend's marathon for Spider-Man PS4 playthrough session. So we know these guys have been doing like the demo test and whatnot since like at least what, 2 months ago now maybe? It could be a little bit closer or less time than that, I guess you could say, but it was around then. And it's kind of like obvious that, okay, they are testing this thing out, checking it's running smoothly, checking for flaws, essentially polishing it up to some extent. But this wasn't like the only cool thing that happened, because even though like a playthrough, a session, like, hey, sign me up for that shit, okay? But moving on to the next thing, because it does come from James Stevenson. Now, he did say in the Oakland airport, and Brian is enjoying some light reading material. So there were a lot of like comments on this picture alone saying how the logo initially has actually changed to the slightest. There's loads of videos on that sort of stuff and tweets that people are kind of like kicking up a fuss. I don't really care, to be honest, but either way it looks cool as shit. What we really want to know is what is behind, of course, this freaking book. It looks like a bunch of like sketches possibly, or just flat out freaking cool artwork. More or less, that has to be like what is behind there. But hey, I would love to be reading what is behind there. But that's just kind of like a building up to the teasers, alright? Then John comes out on Twitter and puts a propose cake at the mocap stage today. So motion caption, we go way back to this image. Motion caption was in action, alright? I feel like that rhymed, I don't even know, possibly didn't. I can't even remember what I said a second ago. I am absolutely losing my mind at this stage. But a lot of people were saying, alright, should we be worried for this, or should we not be worried for this? Alright, because it's like, hey, you're still doing motion caption? Because there was like a chain under this, and one of you guys did say, so you guys are still doing mocap work? How worried should I be that the game is still coming in 2018? And Insomniac Games replied, you shouldn't be worried. But hey, I guess this is that type of tweet that kind of gets you a bit worried, but then it also just flat out says, look, motion caption is done now, alright? And it could have been for a bunch of different things. Like, a lot of people do it for trailers and X, Y, and Z. A lot of people do it for like live action trailers as well. That could be another thing. I mean, who the heck knows what these guys are up to, but so far it is definitely, of course, becoming something pretty damn big. Now, going on to the second to last thing, Bill came out on Twitter and they have pretty much started the merchandise. So the action figures, you got Spider-Man, you got Mr. Negative, and there's a whole bunch more in the background. So these are little things that are going to be showcased as well. Are these going to be things that get given, for example, for a collector's edition of the game? who knows at this stage. But then moving on to the last thing, of course you guys know that Insomniac Games traveled to the UK, they have been at the Insomniac HQ, and then they went to the PlayStation HQ. Bill came back out on Twitter, again February the 16th, saying, at the PlayStation HQ with my Insomniac Games peeps to talk Spider-Man PS4, and again also representing the Black Panther. Now, all of these things that have been occurring, just a shit ton, in my personal opinion, of smart marketing to some extent, because it's giving you something but not actually saying it is what it is, if that makes sense. So it's literally like dangling a freaking carrot, more or less. I couldn't really say it in a better way to give the actual like mindset and perspective on what is going on in this current situation. But even though all this stuff has been super cool, right, I feel like, you know, a lot of people feel that, okay, this needs to stop now. We need to stop the teasers, because you can only essentially like drop these teasers for, you know, so and so amount of time until essentially the people just get bored of it. Me personally, I'm just getting hyped every time either of these guys freaking tweet something like one of the tweets you guys have seen. But at the same time, I do feel it is smart marketing, because like I said, it's not flat out just chucking something out there like a screenshot, or of course what everyone wants is a gameplay trailer of some kind, or just gameplay, but it's just flat out teasing the absolute shit out of people, more or less, and in a very, very simple way. This is definitely a good thing in my opinion. We're definitely onto something big, because as I said at the beginning of the video, you can't just drop this stuff followed by absolutely nothing for like a couple of months, for example. So considering how frequently they have been doing this, it is bound to be in the next couple of weeks at the most. It just has to be, logically speaking. Again, guys, get in the comment section below, share your personal opinions on what you feel about this. But me as a game developer, I wouldn't start doing all these things and in such like a chain like this and then just go dry for like a month or two. You just can't really do that, but then at the same time you can, but you just realistically, like, if you were smart, you kind of wouldn't do that. But I don't know, all this stuff is definitely getting us hyped up. I feel E3, when it comes around, before then definitely, we're going to have at least some new gameplay or some sort of gameplay trailer, and if we have none of that stuff, we're definitely going to get much bigger teasers like screenshots, and then everything we want is going to be in E3 2018. But then at the same time, logically speaking, it would make sense for it not to be. So this is where I kind of like debate with myself and loads of you guys as well. And by the way, follow me on Twitter if you haven't already to have this debate. But if you kind of like wait till E3, is it going to be worth it is another thing, because you've already been there beforehand to showcase your game. So you wouldn't really want, I mean, you would want to have something great to show at that time, but you really wouldn't want to drop everything before then, if that makes sense, like the most key thing. So hey, I don't know, what do you think? Either screenshots before then, and maybe a trailer, and then followed by the official launch trailer with a release date at E3, followed by like 15 minutes of gameplay or something like that, or a full playthrough of some kind. Get in the comment section below, guys. Let me know what you think. If you missed any of the previous Spider-Man videos, there is a playlist in the description below, so you can stay up to date with absolutely everything going on in the community. Like I said, follow me on my Twitter. All the links are in the description below, and I'm also going to try and work out something on how I'm either able to get James or possibly Brian, John, or just someone from Insomniac Games onto a video where we can just do like a Q&A with ideas and I guess you could say like questions suggested by you guys. It'll probably just be like flat out Q&A with relevant questions, but that's something I really want to do as well, so I'm definitely going to try and work on that and try and get in contact with these guys. But all of this stuff is leading up to some awesome stuff. But guys, it's going to have to wrap up the video here. Subscribe for more awesome content, and I will see you in the next one. But till then, have an awesome day, and adios amigos.